Let's hit again. Yeah, how cool are these, right? So, these are actually awesome. So it's Coaches vs. Cancer. We're recognizing that this Saturday, and we have a tremendous organization here, Dance Blue, on campus that in the last 20 years, give or take, 15 years, has raised $23 million towards cancer research, a student-run organization that partners with UK Healthcare and focusing on pediatric hematology and oncology. And so we got to spend some time with some young cancer patients painting these shoes. This is, I won't share too much information, but Garrett and his sister Lily did my shoes that I'll be wearing on Saturday, and there's a lot I like about it. What's that? Did I say Gunnar and Lily? Who did I say? Oh, sorry, Gunnar and Lily. Yep. And there's a few things I like about it, which are, I like the color schemes, but what I really like is I like this on the sole is actually very cool. It's got all 8 championships, and then in true fashion, it got smudged a little bit. This is 25 with a question mark, so we'll see how this deal goes. But this fight against cancer is something that is touches every single one of us, and we're so excited to partner with organizations, especially student-run and UK-centered programs that are making such a huge difference in this. And so we'll wear these shoes in the game, and hopefully we'll celebrate in these shoes, and then I think they're going to be auctioned off to try and raise a little bit of money. So just kudos to everybody involved in all of those organizations, and prayers to all the families, not just of these kids that help paint these shoes, but everybody that's being touched by cancer right now. So let's go, okay?
Obviously, John Calipari coming back Saturday, he was very involved with charitable efforts during his time here. What, as a fan from afar, what did that part of it mean to you?
Yeah.
And how much were you actually able to watch games when you were coaching elsewhere?
Yeah, you guys know I'm the worst ever. Like I just don't see much. Like we're pretty laser focused on what we're doing. So I would just because it's my alma mater and because I care and love it. But it was limited through the course of the season. But everybody in college basketball was touched and moved and kind of trying to follow the lead of the incredible work that Cal did in the community. Like he was such an incredible ambassador for college basketball and Kentucky basketball for so long, and he was so active out in the community, and he was a real gift to this entire community.
Mark, there's obviously a lot of national attention focused on this game. What are your thoughts on the national pundits coming in and telling Kentucky fans how to react and behave?
Well, I don't know that I have a lot of comment on it. I love the drama. I think it's Kentucky, right? It follows us in everything we do. It's one of the beautiful things about getting a chance to play here and coach here and be associated with this program is we care, and people feel how much we care, and so they care to be interested, and so I love that. I love that people are interested in what's happening here, and it's always been that way, and I assume it always will. And these moments in time are just they're fun for fans and fun to capture, and they can be super dramatic, and that's all. I think it's great. It's something to write about and talk about and enjoy and celebrate. On a personal level, I love competing against people that I admire and look up to and love, and Cal is certainly one of those people. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and he's a legend in the sport, and he's rewritten a lot of the book on how things are done, and he's one of the best that there ever was, and he's also got unbelievable legacy here at the University of Kentucky, and it's like an in-state game in the sense of that vibe. It gets you, there's nobody you love to compete against more than your brother or somebody in the family or somebody tied to you, and you're searching for bragging rights and all the things that come with it, and all the drama and emotion that comes with it makes it really special. So that's all the 30,000-foot stuff. At the end of the day, like, we have serious work to do. This league is brilliant and wonderful and incredibly competitive, and every single team can win every single night, and everybody's dealing with dynamics on their roster and injury and fatigue and frustration and growth, and trying to make it through to position themselves in the best place they possibly can for the SEC tournament and to make a run in the postseason, and so that's what consumes most of our time. But I love the fanfare for sure. I love it.
Hey Mark, when you came back here to coach for Utah Valley, I think.
Yeah.
What was it like for you walking into the place you played and coaching?
It was unbelievable. It was, I think, it was really nice to do for me. That was an experience I hadn't had as a player, to come in here as a visitor. And so when you come and play here or come and coach here, you certainly see the world from one perspective. But to come in here as a visiting coach was super powerful for me. It was really learning and telling, because I can really relate to the experience of every single coach that walks into this gym to coach against the Wildcats, that walks in a Rupp, and you walk into this building and you just can't help but feel the history and the tradition, and you walk in for shoot around, and the size of it and the scale, and you just see all of that, and then when you get in here for game time and you feel BBN like live in person, there's just nothing like it in the world. It's the biggest moment ever. When I came here from Utah Valley, I don't think our administrators and fans and donors had ever been more excited in their entire life about anything in the basketball world than to come on this trip. We actually played. We lost our minds, and so we scheduled Duke and Kentucky in 24 hours. We played Kentucky at 7 and then Duke at 5 o'clock the next day. That's the kind of stuff you do when you're trying to do that. But it's the only thing better than walking in here as an opposing coach or players is getting to actually put on this jersey. It just is. It's the pinnacle of college basketball, and the fact that any of us that get for a moment in time to be connected to this program, it is the greatest gift and honor ever, and that'll never change.
You're with a few of Arkansas's players, but Adu Thiero in particular has really had a breakout season of sorts. Just what have you seen from him on film, and kind of how do you stop him, slow him down?
Yeah, he's a monster. Like, he's playing elite level basketball, and he's just devastating physically. He's playing with such an incredible intensity and motor and physicality. He's great downhill, great getting to the rim. He's actually pretty functional in mid-range. He really guards. He's a 1 through 5 defensive player. In some ways, I think BBN knows him better than I do. And but he's putting together a really, really special season, and he's a handful for sure. There's no easy answers with him.
Someone remarked to me after the other night the Tennessee game, that they were most impressed with that you gave your team the confidence that they could win that game even without Lamont and with that minimal contribution from Andrew. As a coach, how do you go about that? Is it a rah-rah speech? Is it more about preparation? How do you give a team confidence that they can go in and win that game when they're shorthanded?
Yeah, that's probably undeserved kind comments. The truth is we earn our confidence. Like, we really earn it. We do it a couple ways. You earn your confidence with your work. You earn your confidence with your sweat equity. You earn your confidence with your commitment. You earn your confidence with your togetherness. There's something beautiful when you're in a hostile environment and maybe things have gone wrong and you have some doubts in your mind. One of the great things about a team sport, and if you've ever had this experience, you'll know what I mean. And it might be as a family member also. It might be as a team member in a business. It might be as a, it could be in any organization. But when you're in that moment where things are tough and it's a hard times and you have some doubts and you're not sure and it seems like the whole world is rising up around you, when you can be in a huddle and you're not sure yourself, but you can look around at the guys that you believe you can count on. You're like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm glad that guy is in the foxhole with me. I'm glad that guy's got my back. I know that guy is going to bring it today. And you look around in your little circle and you can feel that. It's one of the great things in sports. And so I think it has very little to do with what I do, and it has all the things to do with what our guys have done, with how hard they worked and how on and off the court to be committed to each other and how much they care about this. And I think that's where you glean your confidence from is your work. And I talked about it after the game. I'm in love with this term Godfidence also. And there's a little sense of guys on our team where when you can work your way through all the stuff and you can stay focused on like bigger picture things, I think there's a lot of confidence that comes from that too. And so I think a lot of that comes from the character of our guys, man. We have really special guys in the locker room, far from perfect. We make mistakes, we miss shots, we do all the things, but our resilience quotient is pretty special, and it makes it a joy to coach these guys.
25 years ago, Coach Pitino returned for the first time as the Louisville coach, and the place was nuts. That UK team did not need an extra boost. That Louisville team wasn't very good. But you've got a game here on Saturday that the fans might be more invested in this game than any other regular season game. What kind of boost do you think you might get Saturday night?
I don't know. One of the great things, I'll say this, one of the really calming things for us is, we're going to get to a first-round game in the SEC tournament, and it's going to be the biggest game we played in all season long. And it's going to feel really familiar because every game, when we were playing Colgate, that was the biggest game, and we prepare that way, and that's the way we think. It's the biggest game, the most important game, the highest energy game that we've played in all year long. And we played Brown, it was the same way. And we played Tennessee, with some guys missing and trying to find our way a little bit, and it was the biggest game. And Saturday is the biggest game of our entire season. It's the biggest game. And so in that sense, it's just really familiar. The great thing about BBN is, like, we're the same way. Our fan base is the same way. This is the biggest game of the season. And win or lose after this game, the only thing that is going to matter is the game on Tuesday. It's going to be the biggest game, and our whole world will be evaluated on the outcome of the game Tuesday. And I love living that way. It's really special because it makes every moment the most important moment. You live in the moment, and so you're all in. And so that's kind of how we feel about this, right? I think that's how our fan base is. I think that sets us apart from everybody else.
Following up on that, do you recall talking to Coach Pitino prior to that game? I mean, I know you were in the NBA, but like before they came here for the first time as Louisville's coach, do you recall maybe hitting them up and saying,
this is going to be fun. I actually don't remember talking to him because I was probably pretty mad at him. I'm like, how could you go to Louisville? So no, I don't. You mean before the first time Coach came back here as the Louisville coach? I don't remember talking to him. I was. It took me probably 2 or 3 decades before I had the courage to actually speak to him after. But no, I mean, it's just, I love these moments. I mean, it's just great. These moments are really special.
Been a really good three-point shooting team, good on defense as well in terms of three-point defense. Arkansas has been statistically good at defending the three, not so great at shooting it. Just how much of a factor is three-point shooting going to be the game on Saturday?
Well, for us, it's always important on both sides of the ball. The game kind of tells you that too, and so it's really important to we're playing right. It's like we said, we haven't been great at it this season, but it's always a goal for us to be a 30-plus attempt team. When we earn 30, it means that we're playing right, we're moving right, we're executing right. So that's a big marker for us, and it'll be a really important part of this game too. Arkansas is a terrific, really talented team, and terrific at guarding the three, and also terrific at protecting the rim. They're a pretty good dual punch in terms of being able to do both those things. But so it'll be a big challenge, and we just have to go earn those shots. We got to find a way to earn them.
Big Z over there talked about, or at least he acknowledged that he talked to you a little bit before he decided to transfer. Just what were your impressions of him when you got to know him for a little bit, and also just the challenges he presents as a 40% free shooter at 7'2"?
Well, I did get a chance to talk to him a couple times. Clearly, I liked him a lot more than he liked me. But I think he's a terrific talent. I mean, what a talent! What a great talent! And in my interaction with him, I love him as a young man too, which is not uncommon. I think so many so many times the key to athletes making their way to this level is that they end up being really, really good special people, right? I think that's so often the case, and certainly in my experience with him, that would be the case with him. I think he's incredibly talented. I think his skill set is really unique for his size. I think he's got a moxie about him that's pretty fun, and he poses problems. He's a top 10 rim protector in the country, which is incredible, and he's shooting 40% from the three-point line, and he can go to work in the post, and he can really pass the ball. He's a terrific player, and he's a big challenge for us as we prepare this scout.
Malachi Moreno named a McDonald's All-American earlier this week. Just what were your thoughts on that? I think your first high school McDonald's All-American, and then with a guy like that, how much do you stay in contact with him throughout the season, especially from a basketball, watch Amari Williams, watch BC, what they're doing?
I'm so happy for him. All three of our guys are having tremendous seasons. It's been really fun to watch. And they're all incredibly well deserving of being in that McDonald's game. I'm really happy for Malachi that he's there. I got a chance to go see him play, I don't know, a week or two ago. He looks incredible. He's got so much of his game that his ceiling is so high, and so we're in pretty constant contact. He's been out to several games here. He's got a good sense of, the more he watches us play and our bigs operate, the better sense he has of how he fits and why we were so sure that he was an unbelievable fit for what he is, and he's seeing that more and more every day. It's like, oh, I get it. I totally get it. And I love having him watch BG and Amari because it gives him some sense of what he can become here. And, the most important thing right now is he's playing the way his coach wants him to play in his system, but also taking this information is really great. And it's the same with all our guys. Am I allowed to talk about the stuff last night? Yeah, we just have all three of these guys are doing really special stuff. I don't know if you saw Caden Lewis, but he got a chance to essentially testify on Capitol Hill yesterday about programs that he really cares about and believes in. And I just, we're really blessed. We have three guys so far that are committed to come here, and they're going to represent this place beautifully. And they're elite level people, and that's going to always be a mainstay of our teams here. It always has been, and it always will continue. That these guys are not just going to be leaders on the court, but they're going to be leaders in their community, and it's pretty fun to see.
College basketball coaches seem to have a pretty tight fraternity amongst yourselves. And I think a couple weeks ago there were some anonymous comments from coaches about a particular coach and a program. I didn't know what your thoughts were about making anonymous comments, and have you ever done that as a coach?
Wow. I'm not a big anonymous guy, probably because I'm not smart enough to do that. You guys tell I kind of just am unfiltered. I just say all the stupid stuff I say. I do think that that was a little too much laughter, guys. That was too much knowing laughter. I would appreciate some So it's I don't know. Like I don't really know the anonymous plays. I think it's probably. I don't even know if people care about being anonymous. I think it's sometimes more fun just to write it, right? Anonymous source. So that's beyond my pay grade. But I do think that as coaches, in general, we know a lot about what's in our house, and we don't know anything about what's in someone else's house. I think that veteran coaches understand that we don't really have any insight into what or why or how someone else's program is running because we know that nobody really understands what's happening in our program. And so just in a general way, I would be super cautious about making any commentary about anybody's program just because anything I say is going to probably be pretty dumb. And most of the things I say are dumb anyway, but any commentary I would have would be pretty ill-informed or uninformed. With that said, if you have some clip of me making a comment about somebody else's program somewhere, forgive me, but just in a general sense, I don't know. Like, we're spending time on us.
Mark, you kind of also talked about, monitoring your guys' energy level and emotions and things like that. So if you think about this, and I'm asking this very hypothetically, if this was 6-7 years ago in college basketball, a majority of your team would be guys who had played for Cal, and you would have to talk to them about just like, what's it like going to your former coach, but really now, outside of Travis, you don't have to worry about even talking to them because they don't have any emotions with playing for them or being around them, right?
So question, give me your question.
That's not even anything you have to talk to your players about because outside of Travis, none of them even have any relationship with Cal because this was a completely overturned roster.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you guys know I just want to give you mad hype on this story. This is the most important game we've played, just like Tennessee was the most important we played. And so I know that's so boring. I hate to be boring. I hate being boring. But it's actually really true. And so, I think it'd probably be the same if I had a whole roster that played for Cal, or if it didn't. Although I would have more of the secrets. I'd be like, all right, guys, tell me what the play calls, whatever. But I think this is the one thing we know is, listen, Cal is an icon in this game. He's a mentor to me, right? And so and he's been identified with the biggest, best, most prolific basketball program in all of college sports for the last 15 years. And so, that's just people pay attention. That's what they know. So I don't know what that is. It's just I'm trying to say a bunch of something. I don't know.
Mark, you said after the Tennessee game that Andrew didn't have a setback. I know he only
Yeah.
played 89 seconds in the game.
Yeah.
I guess just first off, the run he was able to give you guys, was it just a pain tolerance thing? Was him just not being able to perform what you guys wanted him to do because of the injury? And where does he stand now going into Saturday?
Yeah, that was all me, man. I'm just a chicken. I'm a big chicken. I was carrying so much stress. Andrew's such a warrior. I mean, he just is like he won't talk about discomfort. He won't talk about pain. It's like he's every single time you talk to him, he's like, I'm good to go. Let's go. But he also needed a little bit of time just to heal. And so, we hadn't had any practice time, but he was cleared. And we're kind of like, can we buy him a few more days? If we put him in now, is it a setback? You're just managing all those things, and so I thought I was incredibly brave to put him in the game, to check him in the game. I thought it was, man, I am full of courage. My courage lasted like 90 seconds, and then my courage was gone. Hopefully, it'll last longer in the future.
Yeah, Lamont.
Lamont's doing good. Still not cleared to practice today, and so we'll kind of. I know I'm not sharing all the information on Lamont, but it's that's we'll kind of figure that as time goes by, and I'm kind of we're just trying to figure that part out. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.